Hello, this is Kylie with Fem and Flow. I hope you are having a beautiful day. In our last episode, we talked about how your body becomes the portal, how fascia, posture, and even your DNA begin to reflect your stabilized frequency. We explored what it means to stop healing and start transmitting. And today, we're going deeper into the realm of desire. Not desire in a way we were taught, not desire as lack or craving or distraction, but desire as pure alignment. Because in white hole embodiment, desire stops being a craving and becomes a compass. So take a deep breath, land in your body, and let's explore the truth of what you want. So, first, let's talk about desire in the black hole versus the white hole field. In black hole realities, desire is often distorted. It's born out of survival, scarcity, shame, or comparison. It's something we chase to fix ourselves. It's externally focused, reactive, and rooted in the illusion that we are missing something. In the white hole field, that all changes. Desire is no longer reactive, it's receptive. It arises gently and calmly as a knowing. It feels less like grasping and more like remembering. It doesn't spike your nervous system, it settles it. When you're stabilized, your desires are no longer distractions, they're directions. Desire is not a detour from your path, it is the path. In black hole physics, desire equates to chasing. Wanting something means you're far from it. In white hole physics, desire equates to broadcasting. You become the signal. Desire becomes a frequency, a resonance, a geometry. And that frequency organizes your reality. Desire becomes geometry, and geometry becomes matter. You're not chasing timelines, you're emanating a field that builds them. Your stabilized coherence does the work. And desire is the language of your higher self. When you're fully online, when your field is clear and your body is grounded, desire becomes a form of divine communication. That thing you're drawn to, the life you fantasize about, the aesthetic, the energy, the environment that lights you up, that's not indulgent. It's not random. It's your higher self saying, "This is where we go next." Desire is your soul remembering forward. It's your most aligned self leaving breadcrumbs for you to follow. So now let's take this even deeper. Desire is not just guidance from your higher self, it is the expression of your original energy pattern. In white hole mechanics, everything is built on harmonic order, sacred geometry, pure frequency, divine proportion. And you are no exception. You didn't choose your core frequency. You didn't design your energetic essence. You didn't develop your deepest sense of beauty or truth over time. It was all woven into you from the beginning. You were born with a specific soul architecture, a divine energetic melody that's yours alone. This is not something you figure out. It's not a personality or preference you refine. It's an innate resonance field that emits a signature frequency. There is an energetic pattern that is uniquely, innately you. So when you feel drawn to something, when something lights you up, feels like home, stops you in your tracks, it's not random. It's your field reorganizing itself. Desire is the gravitational pull of your soul's geometry trying to complete itself in form. that space you dream of living in, your field sees its own pattern there. That aesthetic or way of dressing, your field sees its own beauty there. That vision of yourself fully expressed, your field sees its truth there. You're not chasing a fantasy. You're resonating with your soul's blueprint made visible. This is why your desires feel so magnetic, so sacred, so specific. They're not random impulses. They're not indulgent cravings. They are echoes of your own divine design. Desire is your soul recognizing itself in the world and asking you to remember. There's a tone that is uniquely yours, a geometry your field emits, a color palette, a sensation, a style of embodiment that belongs to you beyond language. You don't have to search for it. You don't even have to define it. You just have to stop blocking it. Because desire in the white hole field isn't something you chase or manufacture. It's something you remember. And when you stabilize, when you're no longer reacting or bracing, you stop chasing preferences and start emanating your original pattern. Desire isn't something you create, it's something you uncover. It's the shape of your light trying to land in form. So the next time you're drawn to something deeply, quietly, unmistakably, trust it. It's not your ego. It's not your conditioning. It's your soul calling you back into coherence. Because when you follow desire from this place, you're not indulging. You're aligning with the energetic blueprint that is already eternally you. So now let's expand this even further to understand the deeper mechanics behind why your desires are so precise and powerful. Your higher self is the direct expression of your soul blueprint. It's the version of you that lives in full coherence, beyond distortion, outside of density. It holds the full remembrance of why you came here, what your soul longs to create, and the specific energetic codes that make you, you. When you feel a clear desire arise from stillness, not from fear, not from lack, but from knowing, that's not just preference. That's communication from your higher self. But where does the higher self come from? From your oversoul, the divine whole of your multidimensional being. Your oversoul is the source of all your expressions across time, space, dimensions, and realms. You are one fractal of it. Your Pleiadian self might be another. Your Lyran expression, your ancient guides, your future self, all are radiating from the same central source. Each expression is a fractal, a unique and complete transmission of a specific facet of your oversoul's geometry. So when you desire something, that signal is your oversoul remembering itself through you, your higher self translating that memory into resonance, your physical field magnetizing toward that truth. Desire is the oversoul memory trying to return through matter. This is why desire can feel like deja vu, like longing, like recognition, because in a very real way, it is. You've lived that beauty in other lifetimes. You've embodied that essence elsewhere. You've walked through that architecture in another version of you. You're not dreaming into being. You're remembering it into form. When your field stabilizes in white hole frequency, the communication becomes clear. Your higher self is no longer filtered through emotional noise. The geometry of your oversoul becomes the blueprint for your embodied life. That's when a style you love becomes more than preference, it's harmonic alignment. A place that calls you becomes more than a wish. It's a fractal home. A vision of you fully expressed becomes more than fantasy. It's a dimensional anchor. So as you move through this embodiment journey, know this. Desire isn't forward facing. It's inward resonating. It's your soul blueprint finding form. You are not separate from the divine. You are one fractal expression of it, trying to remember its wholeness and form. And desire is how that remembering begins. Now let's talk about how what you want is already true. You're not manifesting something from thin air. You're not pulling an outcome into being through force or fantasy. What you're doing is remembering. But not just remembering a version of you that already exists somewhere out there. You're aligning with the harmonic tone of your original design. And that tone begins generating a timeline around you. Desire is not a signal to go get something. It's a magnet, a tuning fork. It helps you locate the frequency of your divine embodiment. And when you stabilize in white hole frequency, you're not jumping timelines to escape your current one. You're not cherry picking pre-existing options like you're ordering from a cosmic menu. You're generating a timeline through resonance. That's the key distinction. You're not forcing your way into a timeline that already exists, and you're not building it from scratch either. You are becoming the harmonic field that makes it inevitable. You are the tuning fork, the sculptor, the signal. In the quantum field, yes, every possibility already exists. But the timeline you actually experience is the one your tone can hold. That's why coherence is everything. And the more you stabilize in that deep coherence, the more naturally the outer world reflects the version of you that was already encoded in your soul's geometry. You're not chasing the version. You're becoming the field it responds to. So here's the truth bomb. What if you were never really manifesting to begin with? What if, across all phases of this journey, you were just remembering your resonance and learning how to hold it long enough for reality to crystallize around it? So this segues into how you were never manifesting, you were actually remembering through distortion. In black hole realities, we thought we were manifesting. We visualized, we journaled, we tried to attract, call in, quantum leap, and claim. But what if all of that was just a distorted way of trying to reach what your soul already knew? Even your wildest dreams were foggy memories of your highest timeline. You weren't trying to manifest something new. You were trying to remember something ancient. But the field was cluttered. Your nervous system was bracing. The geometry was incoherent. So that remembering felt like yearning, striving, repeating affirmations on top of anxiety. You thought you were creating, but you were navigating through forgetfulness. In bridge mechanics, the veil thins. You start to glimpse into it. You see signs, synchronicities. You start to feel, okay, I know this version of me. But you still think you have to reach her. Bridge manifestation is remembering what alignment feels like, but still thinking you have to earn it. Once you stabilize, there's nothing to manifest. There's only truth unfolding. You're not attracting a future, you're sinking to your original. You're not proving your worth, you're remembering your design. You were never manifesting, you were remembering through density, and now you're simply being what you've always been. This is the shift from desire as grasping to desire as divine memory repatterning your field. And when that memory is clear, your timeline is inevitable. You don't manifest it, you match it. Once you realize you're not manifesting but remembering, desire begins to sculpt your present life in more creative, intimate ways. This is where artistry begins. This is where your life becomes your poem. So let's talk about desire as artistry. And let's expand this lens even further. Because when you're stabilized in white hole frequency, desire doesn't just shape your future. It begins to sculpt your present in the most artistic, intentional, and graceful ways. Desire is not just a compass, it's a brushstroke from your soul. Everything becomes creative. The way you dress, the way you arrange your space, the way you infuse light into your rituals. You're not trying to be aesthetic. You are aesthetic. You're not forcing beauty. You're allowing frequency to make form. Desire becomes the sacred impulse that tells you how to design your day, your body, your life. You don't chase the art of living. You become it. This is the return of your life as a poem, a living sculpture, a visible vibration. So now let's talk about beauty as a frequency, not a standard. Let's start by taking a moment to deconstruct the old programming around beauty. Because in black hole paradigms, beauty was treated like a standard you had to meet, something external to chase, earn, or prove. But in white hole reality, beauty is no longer a score. It's a field, a frequency, a living resonance. You don't chase glow, you conduct it. You don't compete with standards, you radiate coherence. Beauty is coherence, it's symmetry, it's light flowing unblocked through your being. When your fascia softens, when your energy harmonizes, when your field stabilizes, you glow. And not metaphorically, literally. Symmetry returns, softness becomes your baseline. Glow is your new normal. Because beauty, in its truest form, is a byproduct of truth. And that truth doesn't just apply to your physical appearance. It expands into your space, your style, your design. It extends into how you dress, what you're drawn to, and the desires you hold for elegance, luxury, and aesthetic richness. Now let's talk about beauty, design, and the shaming of soul-aligned aesthetics. Let's talk about a form of desire that's often misunderstood. The desire for beauty, for elegance, for style, fashion, luxury, interior design, and aesthetic richness. I've talked about this on other episodes and I deeply relate to this, but I wanted to bring it up again because it's really relevant here. In the black hole paradigm, these things are often labeled as shallow or materialistic. We're taught to feel ashamed for wanting them. But that's because black hole society hijacks beauty and repackages it as status. In that distortion, fashion becomes performance, luxury becomes hierarchy, and design becomes something to impress instead of express. But once you begin stabilizing in a white hole frequency, that entire relationship changes. You realize your desire for beauty was never about vanity. It was about resonance. When you're drawn to certain fabrics, colors, spaces, textures, or shapes, it's not indulgence. It's your soul recognizing its own geometry. You're not chasing trends, you're remembering your tone. In white hole embodiment, style becomes self-expression, design becomes spatial coherence, Aesthetics become sacred geometry made sensual. You no longer curate your life to prove your worth. You design your life to reflect your essence. You're not materialistic, you're magnetic. Even your desires for beauty, softness, abundance, and luxury are not external. They are echoes of your internal clarity. This is how you begin to differentiate. Black hole desire comes from lack, from comparison, shame, or trying to be enough. It grasps, it proves, it performs. And then bridge desire is awakening. It remembers beauty but still believes it needs to earn it. It hopes, it dreams, but it doesn't fully trust. And then white hole desire is calm, clear, specific. It doesn't chase, it simply aligns. You want what you want not because it makes you better, but because it already matches who you are. Your taste is not a personality, it's a soul signature. Yes, you can love fashion, beauty, and luxury, and it can be the most spiritual thing you do, as long as it's rooted in alignment, not performance. This is how we reclaim the full spectrum of desire, by letting beauty be holy again, by letting coherence be our glow, and by remembering you are not here to meet a standard. You are here to become a field. Your taste is not superficial, it's sacred. The textures you love, the tones that move you, the shapes, colors, scents, light, you're not choosing those things. Your field is recognizing them. Aesthetic intelligence is your soul's way of sensing resonance through the senses. As you stabilize, your preferences refine. You're drawn to earth tones, natural light, flowing shapes, sacred symmetry. You no longer tolerate chaos, not because you're picky, but because your field is harmonizing. Your nervous system is recalibrating to elegance, simplicity, and resonance. Aesthetic intelligence is not indulgence, it's multidimensional coherence. The more you embody truth, the more refined your taste becomes, because truth has a tone. Now let's talk about the body, because desire doesn't just shape your outer life, it shapes your physical form. Your desire to feel beautiful in your body, to be seen, to express, to soften, to glow, is not ego, it's embodiment. When you're stabilized in white hole embodiment, your body becomes responsive. Your fascia is fluid, your skin reflects coherence, your symmetry begins to return. But this isn't about choosing how you want to look, like selecting features on a computer screen. This isn't a mental process, it's a field process. Beauty isn't built, it's revealed when the noise drops out. In a black hole system, we're taught to curate beauty, to sculpt it from the outside in, control it detail by detail, chase someone else's standard. In black hole distortion, body image becomes control. You try to sculpt, fix, shrink, or perfect yourself to be worthy. You compare, you contract, you perform. But in the white hole reality, beauty is emergent. It arises from coherence. It's sculpted by divine order. It reveals your unique sacred geometry. You don't need to choose your features. Your fascia, your water, your blood, your DNA, they already know what to do. Your body is always trying to return to divine order. And when your frequency stabilizes, it does. Your highest appearance is not a preference, it's a reflection of your original design. You may start feeling drawn to a new style, a softness, a glow. Not because you're trying to look better, but because you're starting to see yourself clearly. And what you find beautiful, what you're naturally magnetized towards, is your divine pattern. This is why your appearance begins to shift. Because your body is no longer hiding, it's remembering. The feature, symmetry, tone, and glow you've always wanted, they're not fantasies. They're previews of your coherent self. And you don't get there through pressure. You get there by softening. You're not chasing a beauty standard, you're remembering your divine pattern. This is why your appearance can shift as your desires stabilize, because you're no longer trying to fix your body. You're letting it remember what's true. Now let's talk about desire as a portal to higher timelines. And this gets us into what desire really does when you follow it. It opens a portal. Desire is your soul's breadcrumb trail to its highest self. Every true desire contains a thread of memory. It's not leading you forward, it's pulling you inward. When you follow desire, your timeline realigns, your field harmonizes, your future finds you. This is how we quantum leap without even moving. We feel, we align, we follow the resonance. You don't follow desire to escape. You follow it to remember. And once you're there, once you're stable, the life that once felt like a dream becomes your default reality. You don't just visit the timeline you desire. You become the version who never left. You don't need to justify what you want. You don't need to tone it down or make it practical. You don't even need to explain it to anyone. You only need to become still enough to hear it and soft enough to follow. Because your soul signature is creative. It didn't come here to chase. It came here to emanate. Desire is the blueprint, coherence is the strategy, and your stabilized field is already building it. So now if you want to do a short little ritual with me to activate desire as creation, just take a deep breath. Place one hand on your heart, one on your lower belly. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Ask, what do I truly want? Feel what rises. Let it be felt. And then say, I allow my desires to lead me into alignment. I trust what I love. Let that be your frequency. Let that be your architecture. Let that be the life you walk into next. After listening to this, maybe take 5 minutes to journal. Ask yourself, what are 3 things I feel most drawn to right now? What beauty am I already embodying without trying? And what would my day look like if I lived as though everything I desired was already true? Let this become your energetic anchor. Your beauty isn't becoming, it's returning. So that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all and have a great week.